This month's giveaway is a $10 gift card for your choice of PSN, Xbox Marketplace, Nintendo eShop, or Steam. How do you enter to win? It's simple. All you have to do is be a subscriber. Would you want additional entries? Then all you have to do is leave a comment on any of our full-length podcast videos for this month. The winner will be chosen at the end of the month. Good luck, and thank you for watching. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Press X Podcast, Episode 10, your weekly podcast for gaming news and opinions, coming at you each and every Monday at 12 Eastern. I'm Kevin McManus. This is Kellen Willard. Todd Broussard, back again.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. People liked you.
That's what
So
I like to hear.
I openly invite you to be on the show whenever you want.
He does, I don't.
It's my last episode.
You
guys.
got here right on time, as always.
Yeah.
You're only 2 hours late from the time I said
A
we were going to
wizard's
start
never
filming.
early or late. Precisely on time.
So we're going to be talking about some studio closes. We're going to be talking about the trailer for Civil War that dropped. And we're going to be talking about the PlayStation VR conference that'll be happening in a few days after this goes... Actually, the next day after this goes live. Kind of some predictions that we think we're going to see there. Nothing too major, just kind of what we think we're going to see. Good job.
Yeah.
I hope you're right, because
If not,
if not, there's a problem. There's also some rumors that Amazon's been talking about. But anyway, we'll move right into the news. First up, Microsoft closed Lionhead Studios. They were the creators of Fable, and they canceled their newest game, which was Fable Legends. Valve and Sony are looking to pick up members from the studio. Valve just openly said, hey, if anyone was working at Lionhead, get in contact with us. We're looking for new people. And Sony's having a specific meeting where anybody that worked at Lionhead can go to, and they can try and pick them up. So what do we think about this? Microsoft, I'll bundle it with the next one. Microsoft also closed Press Play, who did Max Curse of Brotherhood, which is actually a pretty neat game, and they did another Max game and such. But what do we think about some closing of studios? Obviously, it's always sad when studios close. I'm glad that other companies are looking to pick them up.
yeah, trying to help him out a little bit.
But the big news really is the end of Fable. And that game was far along, too. It's in beta. You can still play the beta until the end of April or something.
I mean, they essentially had it done.
Yeah, it's weird that they canceled a game that was 100% playable. They could have released it.
Yeah.
So, what do we think about this? Is there going to be another Fable later on? Are they going to put another company on it? Are we done with Fable completely?
I think we're just done with Fable completely.
At
and
this
it's
point,
really
they're
sad.
they're just done.
This is one of my favorite game series.
I think we're done with Fable too. I know we've been done with Fable. Very funny.
For a while.
I would have liked to see them work on Fable 4 instead of this Fable Legends.
I really wanted to play Fable Legends. I think I was
really.
Oh yeah.
What was so exciting about Fable Legends for you?
Well, I'm just such a Fable fan, and like even Fable 3 wasn't the greatest, but I had a blast playing it still.
I just like the
I
first
the
one.
world a lot.
I'm not a big fan of the idea of that. Like, quite a few games have tried to do the dungeon master in a game, basically, where one person pulls all the strings and everybody else tries to go through. And I don't think anybody's ever done it well. This could have been the first. I don't know. I haven't played in the beta or anything.
Yeah.
Like, maybe this was the game that did it. But to me, when I watched it and when they did E3 conferences and everything, I was just bored watching this game. I was like, this is not what I want, especially out of Fable.
Yeah.
Though they kind of did that with Halo Wars. And that worked out. Like, they took a franchise and did something totally different with it.
Yeah, no, it's terrible.
And that worked out. And
I
then,
love Halo Wars.
And then,
I still play Halo Wars.
side note, they closed the studio right after they released that, too.
Yeah.
Ensemble, yeah.
So, do we think that a lot of people, the rumors, the speculation, people think that Microsoft is just moving out of the console world? They're going to start closing down their studios.
I don't know about that.
Well,
just because they're so focused on this Windows 10 business.
Yeah,
Microsoft's a pretty big company. I think they can do both.
They are.
Well, they've talked about spinning off Xbox already, and just selling the Xbox portion of it, because it is definitely, I mean, it makes money, but they have Microsoft Office. They
have
make,
Windows.
They don't need the risk, I guess, of the Xbox to do that. So do we think that's what's happening at all? I personally don't, but it's just something I've seen.
I don't think that's happening.
Well, so a lot of things are happening with Microsoft right now, and it started when they tried to make smartphones. and that just went down the drain. But they spent like
awful.
so much money trying to make like a smartphone.
The Windows
like,
phones.
Yeah, trying to make Windows phones like a thing. And right after they took a big hit from that, they had to like start releasing other start letting off other things, and that's like some of the things we've seen, like with obviously game studios getting closed down because of Microsoft. So
yeah, it's a side tangent, but the big problem with like the Windows phones and their tablets and everything is they want to, and the Xbox now, and they're moving more towards it, is they want to make like Windows 10 and then just have Windows 10 on the computer and on the phone and on the Xbox, and like you can't do that. The devices work differently. You can't have the same operating system.
Make them compatible, but
but they didn't didn't do what Apple did, right?
I mean, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Apple, but
no, I'm not either. But I mean, I think that
they have good ideas.
Yeah, I think they made iOS very compatible throughout all their systems.
Yeah, because they're not the same thing.
They're very different, yeah.
So, always sad to see studios close.
It is, for sure.
Interested to see where this goes and if they're gonna. I mean, it's just a business decision. That was their official marketing, and I understand that you have to close studios.
There's
sometimes.
so many great game designers on this project.
It's just so odd that they didn't release the game first.
It is very weird.
Like that game's gone.
Yeah, it's really sucks.
It's strange. All right, so let's talk about that Civil War trailer. We've all seen it.
Yeah.
Some of us really liked it.
Yeah.
Some of us thought it was okay.
So I was real skeptical on the movie the first time I saw it. Like, not a big Captain America fan. So I was just like, this looks okay. And then I saw this new trailer, and I was like, I mean, this looks kind of sweet. It's going to be like a little darker than some of the other Captain America movies.
So that's my problem. I'm not invested in this trailer. I'm not going to see the movie.
Yeah.
I'm not invested in the trailer. I don't care.
Right.
But my big issue that they do, and I know why they do it, they market the trailers at me. That's what they do. Their movies are all like this fun. They all have the fun tone to them. None of their trailers, except for maybe Ant-Man, have that fun tone. If you watch the Age of Ultron trailer, that looks like the darkest movie
looks like a horror movie
ever.
And it's nowhere near that.
And then you watch it, and the villain of it's a jokester. He's just Iron Man again.
Yeah.
So when I watch these trailers, that's what I constantly have to think. I'm like, this is just to get people that normally wouldn't see it, because they have all the people that are going to watch the Marvel movies anyway.
Yeah.
And I have to say, it was a good trailer for that.
It was. I mean, it was just a good trailer in general.
It reminded me a whole lot of the Batman versus Superman stuff. Just how they showed like the destruction that's happened, and they're like, maybe we should be restricted and have all this stuff. And I was like, this is very, very similar. And if you remember, those movies were supposed to come out on the same day.
Yeah.
Which would have been real weird.
That would have been awkward.
So, I think overall the trailer was good. Let's talk about the big part of the trailer.
Captain America?
Ant-Man riding on the Arrow.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
I liked it.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
What do we think about Spider-Man?
So
he looks out of place almost.
I agree.
I think it's like he looked weird.
He did look weird.
I didn't know what was it. It looked like his costume was like CGI.
His costume is he's not like in the movie.
Oh,
it's either the worst CGI ever or the best rip from the '60s cartoon ever. It just dropped him in.
Yeah, it's like he's so bright. I don't know why he's so bright in this dark movie.
It's almost like he's from a different universe.
Jesus.
Fair enough.
So it got me excited and not disappointed. Like, I think it's the worst Spider-Man suit I've seen. I don't like it very much.
Oh, I hate it.
And the eye thing where they made it like mechanical, because they can't do the Deadpool thing where it's just animated, because that doesn't make any sense. And they have to have logic behind everything they do.
Well, one of the thoughts is that it's the Iron Spider suit, which it doesn't look like the Iron Spider suit.
No, it doesn't.
So, because that was red and gold. So.
Yeah.
Which he has in the Civil War event in the comics. So.
Yeah.
So this movie was finished and like filmed and all this stuff before Spider-Man was a part of it, and they added Spider-Man afterwards.
Oh, okay.
So I'm interested to see if he feels like he was added afterwards, or how much of the movie, because I assume that scene is the middle of the movie.
Yeah, that was my assumption.
Do you assume that too? That's what I assume.
No, it's not the end.
And like the Civil War comic, I mean, there's multiple Civil War comics, but I guess comics, like, he comes in about the middle of the comic.
Yeah, so I was thinking that's the middle of the comic of the movie.
Yeah.
Which had me a little concerned, because if he comes in the middle, I assumed he'd be at the end.
Right.
If he comes in the middle, that means he should theoretically be in the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Or at least have a reason that he's missing that's believable.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of worried that they may have shoehorned him in. We'll have to say, obviously.
So
but
it could be at the end of the movie, but
or
maybe
you can let me know.
Maybe it's like this doesn't really make sense. So it's like a longer period of the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe like I think there's gonna be like quite a bit of build up until we get to these crazy action scenes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I mean, I really liked Winter Soldier. That's probably my second favorite Marvel movie. And this is done by the same people, so I imagine that they know what they're doing. I hope they do.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't feel like Ultron, where it just feels a little disjointed.
That movie was pretty terrible.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all.
I liked it. Not my favorite.
I think
not
it looked
the best.
cool, but I didn't like Ultron.
Yeah.
He was all right. He's not as good as he could have been.
That was my last straw moment where I was like, okay, their trailers and their movies don't match, and it's making me mad.
I didn't like Quicksilver. Or, they felt real out of place.
Yeah, Quicksilver didn't feel like he belonged there, but he was all right. But
also, part of the problem with that was just there was a Quicksilver that was done.
Yeah, we already had a Quicksilver that was done well. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, so overall, Spider-Man, you think he's okay, but you're excited about him?
I love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But I hope he doesn't like...
How about you?
I'm
an overall thought?
Scaredly excited.
Yeah, and then I'm really glad he's in the movie. I'm glad they showed him. I think people that are like, don't show him, just show him.
Yeah, just give us something,
It makes me excited for the Sony movie. I hope we get a Sony Spider-Man movie where he doesn't look out of place and the world looks like that. It's these bright colors and it looks like a cartoon.
Yeah,
that
would be awesome.
That'd be great.
I thought they did like a decent job of that in the last Spider-Man movie.
Like, the last Spider-Man movie
really
looked
like
awesome.
A comic book.
Yeah, it did.
It was really cool.
The story was just awful. The writing was awful. But I really like Andrew Garfield and everything. But that's a side tangent.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, back to some gaming. Nope, this is actually a movie too. So Assassin's Creed, that movie's coming out in December. Probably going to get murdered by the Star Wars movie. There's a Star Wars movie coming out in December, right?
Oh, is it Rogue Squadron this year?
Yeah, is that December? I don't know. It's coming out later this year.
Yeah, it's like December something.
They're already working on the sequel to this movie.
That was fast.
Yeah, so either they saw something they liked or they realized this is going to make enough money to warrant a sequel. It seems like they're going for a trilogy.
Yeah.
Like everybody else who makes a movie nowadays.
Right.
So what do we think of this movie? I know we haven't seen anything but maybe a still photo. Do we think this movie is going to be the superhero movie? Or superhero movie. The video game movie that breaks through the mainstream?
I'm not sure. I don't know much about it, actually. What story are they doing?
They haven't said much. It's not one of the game stories.
Okay.
That much we know. I know that Fassbender, I think he's producing it, and he's the main lead. Hasn't played any of the games, so we're at a good start there.
Nice.
I just hope this is all I want from the movie, and I think it'll be awesome if they do it. I want it to take place in the is it Argo? What's the futuristic company that Assassin's Creed?
I can't think of the name of it. I know what you're talking about.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Anyway,
Argo Labs or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. I hope it takes place there.
Yeah.
And it's like the Matrix, where they kind of jack in and then they're in the Assassin's Creed world and then they can hop out.
So the first Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
Where they lay him on the bed and they
I want it like the Matrix trilogy type thing, only instead of being the real world and the Matrix, I want it to be the futuristic world and the past. I think that would be really cool. But I have no clue how you're going to do the villain and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm just not excited about this movie.
I wouldn't say I'm excited either, but I'm excited to see the trailer.
Yeah,
I want to know what it looks like.
That's true.
One movie that this is a little off topic. We're still on video game movies. Is Warcraft? Like a lot of people think this movie's gonna be terrible.
I think it looks awful.
It looks awful.
It does look kind of. The orcs look really bad. Is the big thing.
The whole thing looks
you
really
mean
bad.
the whole like villain of the
the
movie?
Kind of the villain, but
no.
I don't know. I'm gonna watch this movie, and I'm personally excited. I like Warcraft.
So I was about to say, the people that seem excited for that movie, everybody that I've talked to, there's like 4 people I've met that are excited for that movie after seeing it, and they all played Warcraft.
Yeah, like I played the shit out of Warcraft.
So that's an expensive movie, and that's a big movie, and I think that's gonna be a huge flop.
Oh, I think so too. But I think it might be good. Like
I hope it's good.
I want it to be good.
If I hear it's good, I'll go see it.
Like people think the orcs look bad, but they look like the Warcraft orcs. I mean,
which look bad.
They do, but
you mean that game that was made like 15 years ago?
Yeah, that game's pretty old.
They're not gonna change. Like,
well, maybe they should.
I don't think they should, because I think they're trying to get to those Warcraft fans. There's a lot of them.
There is definitely a lot of them. Yeah, I mean, I hope it does well. I hope it's good.
Yeah.
If it's good, I am not against seeing it at all. It just looks like bad Lord of the Rings to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Moving
much.
on. Can we talk about actual gaming yet? Yeah, we can. Overwatch. We got a release date, May 24th. May's becoming quite packed. We have Mirror's Edge, we have Uncharted, we have Overwatch, we have Battleborn. There's a lot of big games coming out.
So we have Uncharted.
For me, we have Uncharted.
For me, we have Uncharted.
Yeah.
And at the end of the month, I guess, Mirror's Edge. So are any of us excited for Overwatch? And how do we think the Overwatch Battleborn situation is going to go? Because I think one of those is going to move, and it's not Overwatch.
I could see that.
So Battleborn's already been pushed back. Once on paper and like twice, kind of. Like they said that it was going to come out at the end of last year. And it
that stuff happens all the time.
Actually,
I think it's just to get
so I think it's going to get moved in because I don't think
they want to compete with
no,
Overwatch.
I don't think they can compete with the Blizzard game at all.
Though if you're in May, you don't have much wiggle room because you're going to be going up against big games after that month.
Yeah, I mean these are big games though.
Yeah, but I mean you're going to be going up against like where Mass Effect would have been, I guess, the Call of Duties and the Watch Dogs and Final Fantasy 15 and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. I think you're like fine to go against a new Call of Duty game though. Like it's gonna be bad, and I think people know it's gonna be bad. Like they sell well, but people aren't excited about a new Ghost.
People, but even the worst Call of Duty still outsells everything else.
That's fair. There's a lot of like big.
You don't want to go up against Call of Duty. That's like Tomb Raider last year. Like released on the same day as Fallout. That was a good idea.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
So, are you interested in getting this game at all? I know you changed your tone. You were so excited for this game. This was one of the games that you talked about the most.
Man, I was.
And then all of a sudden today, you were like, "Yeah, I might not get it."
So we're talking about Overwatch here.
Yeah.
So I was like really excited to like play Overwatch, and I played the beta on my buddy's house, and it's fun. I wish it was like a third person more than a first.
Is there no toggle?
No, there's not. Maybe there is, but I just didn't see it. But I don't think there is. Like the way I played it.
I agree. I would rather play that game.
Yeah.
Third person. Is this game buy only for console? Do you know? Is there like a free to play model and a buy model, or is it only?
No, I think it's only buy. Yeah.
I would try it out if it was free to play. I think.
Yeah.
Because there's the characters in the trailer are sweet.
Dude, the characters are awesome in it. That's why I was so like disappointed as a first person.
That's the only thing I'm interested in, the characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's about
the characters
really.
are really cool.
Yeah,
the gameplay is really smooth for like an ability-based shooter game. Like it's not so much a TF2 copy. I mean, there's definitely aspects of it.
Yeah, it looks like it on paper at least.
Yeah, but it's like TF2 is really like clunky when I played it. Like I don't know, it felt real weird like getting into that game. In this game, I felt like I could just pick it up and I could like play it like a regular shooter with these sweet characters that have these sweet abilities. Like it played really well. But I might not pick it up because I just recently got into the Division and I'm like hooked on it right now.
Oh yeah, you guys both got the Division. You can go ahead and converse about that. I don't have anything to say at all.
This is a game that I did not want to play, and I don't know, 2 nights ago
you text me asking what game should I get, and I was like, oh, you could get this, you can get this, and then you it seemed like you were gonna go with The Witcher because you haven't played that. I haven't
played The Witcher 3 yet.
And then you text me like an hour later, and you're like, got the Division, it's sweet. I'm like, oh, okay.
It is. It's real good.
Yeah, it's actually fantastic. I was like not excited about this like semi-futuristic.
I've been looking forward to it for a while.
Kind of I Am Legend world, but
there's a lot more people in it than I Am Legend
for sure. But it looks the same kind of.
It looks like a multiplayer Last of Us to me, just on paper.
Yeah, a little bit. The best way that I can describe it, I don't know if this is right, but it has like the loot system of like kind of like a Borderlands game, and then it has like kind of the play style of like a Rainbow Six game. So.
And it is Tom Clancy, so
kind of
fitting.
Yeah. So I've really been enjoying this. I played it 10 hours straight today. Like,
do you see this chipping away at the Destiny players, like taking their player base? Is this the type of people that moved over?
Yeah. I like personally, like friends on Xbox have moved from like Destiny to this game. It plays a lot like smoother than Destiny. I'd say it's not as grindy as Destiny.
Destiny's very grindy.
Like the raids and stuff, like it doesn't feel like a job when I have to go do something like that. Like it's just fun, and it keeps me on the grind. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a lot of fun. All the missions and stuff are sweet.
Plus, it's very pretty.
It is. It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
And there's like so much to explore. Like you have your own base, and there's so many things you can do in that. You can just explore Manhattan, and there's so many cool things to do there too.
It's a lot more exploration than I originally thought it would be.
Yeah, yeah. It like they marketed it as a shooter game, and it's just like
I agree. They mismarketed
it. It's just an open world like RPG game.
Yeah, it's really well made.
Though. When I played the beta, I was kind of surprised at what it played like.
Yeah,
I was expecting basically a third-person shooter.
Yeah.
It's not at all.
Yeah, and I was expecting like the beginning of the game is kind of railroady, so I was expecting the whole game like that. But after you play like about 2 hours of it, it gets like this huge open world game, which is really cool.
Yeah,
but it also has
did well.
Yeah, it also has this like really sweet storyline you can follow, which is the problem with most MMOs. Like they kind of have a weak storyline, and this one just had a fantastic one. So,
do they specifically call that game MMO or no?
Mm-mm.
I think what they call like a persistent online world or something like that.
They're scared of the word MMO.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like Battleborn scared of the word MOBA. They don't want to.
They don't want to be put in that group.
I'm gonna murder you. You show up late, you spill stuff all over yourself, and then you spill it all over the table. All right. So Disney and Wargaming have officially joined EA and Activision, all these companies that are skipping E3 this year.
Yeah.
Obviously, Disney kind of doesn't fit. Wargaming kind of doesn't. These aren't big I mean, Disney is a big company, but it's not a big miss for them not to show up. Sort of surprised on Disney's part. The Wargaming, they do the World of Tanks games.
Yeah, World of Tanks.
War
fine.
Ships, or whatever.
Disney, I'm a little surprised just because of their Infinity line.
Yeah, I feel like they have a lot to offer to E3.
They do a lot of work.
They do a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I guess they don't think that like people that buy Infinity stuff
are gonna
care about E3 at all. There are people that walk into the store and impulse buy. They're kids that beg their parents for something because they see a movie.
Ooh, a new character.
Yeah, they don't need to advertise. Their advertisements, the Marvel movies, the Star Wars movies. So
I know people
it makes
like
sense, but
my age that play these Disney games, which I mean is kind of weird, but yeah.
I played Infinity a little bit. It was a little.
It's not a bad game. It's real childish.
No, yeah, that's the thing. It was very, very simple. Mm-hmm. I played it for a few hours. I'm like, okay, I'm done here.
It's very simple. Yeah.
But anyway, so not a huge story, just more people dropping out of E3. Right. So this is something that I don't know if you guys have seen. I'm just going to talk about it real quick. If you haven't, there is a 3D Nintendo Entertainment System emulator. Mm-hmm. Did you see this or no? Did you see this at all?
Nope.
Okay, so basically, emulator, obviously, you just emulate the game and play it. This emulates the game in 3D, so things almost look like this Mario up there.
Like this 3D Nintendo system?
No. It gives everything depth, and you can rotate the screen or angle the screen. So they were showing Castlevania, and they made the camera so it's looking almost down at the characters, and they're playing through. No clue how it works. It's online. You can if I remember, I'll leave a link in the description for it. But basically, it's a web browser based thing, and you load up whatever ROM you want to play, and you play it in 3D. It's in beta right now, but it was just really impressive.
That sounds really neat.
Difficult to make too.
I have no clue how it works.
I don't know how that
One
works.
of the cool ones they did was Dr. Mario, which is basically Tetris, and they were showing the different angles of the pills and stuff.
Side.
Yeah, it was really cool. So
another like cool. It's not Nintendo making it, but there's like this retro gaming company. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. But they're making this like original Game Boy like thing that you can plug into your iPhone, and you can play original Game Boy games through your iPhone.
I've never heard of that. That sounds sweet.
Yeah, it's like just released, or they're about to release it, or something like that. I'll get some more data on it.
Yeah, that's really neat.
I've still got my Game Boy Color, and it still works.
That's sick.
And then for the final news story, we have some news on Gears of War 4. And this is something that I feel like was a response to backlash on Halo. Yeah. They announced that Gears of War 4 will have co-op.
Yay.
Yeah. So famously, Halo 5, the Halo series, very, very, very popular for their co-op play.
Yeah.
They stripped that out of the game for the most recent release. You had to have 2 Xboxes.
And it's the only Halo I don't own for a reason.
Yeah. So they made it clear early on the new Gears of War will have co-op.
Yeah.
Small tidbit of news, but very exciting, and I think that shows that they're at least listening.
Mm-hmm. Well, the original Gears was kind of marketed as a 2-player game. So.
Yeah.
Kind of like Army of Two.
Army of Two. That's what I was gonna say.
Those games are fun too.
They are a lot of fun.
Do we have any interest in Gears of War 4 here?
So I've played all the Gears. I'm just not a big fan of the multiplayer, but the storylines are so much fun to play through.
Yeah, especially
with a buddy.
I never really got into the online, but I love the single player of the Gears.
So
games.
much fun. The storylines are cool, and just like the gameplay and the bosses are really fun to play through. So.
I need to
I still have 1, 2, and 3. So
yeah, I want to play them, and the remastered one on the Xbox One is $10 this week at Best Buy. So
I picked that up for $40.
So I'm probably gonna pick that up for $8 or whatever my deal thing makes it. So
yeah,
that's pretty sweet. All right, so we can move on to some questions. All right, so the first question we have are: what are some underrated games? Some underrated, underappreciated games that are good that most people don't talk about or haven't played.
I wrote a couple down. The first one that came to mind was Too Human, which I've mentioned before.
Yeah, I have a bunch on the list that I've mentioned before, but I don't care.
I love that game. Again. I still think it plays well. But hey,
it's a sweet trilogy. I'm glad they did the trilogy.
Yeah, just keep crushing me.
That's a studio that they closed that down after that game, right?
Yeah, because they stole part of that game. We'll talk about that one day. But
I never actually got to play this game.
Yeah, I've watched somebody play a bunch of it.
What is it?
Awesome. It's a it's like one of those beat 'em up games, but it's set like in Norse mythology.
Oh, that sounds sweet.
And you can do most of the fighting with the twin sticks.
That sounds awesome.
And it's kind of difficult to control unless you get used to it. And then he's got a bunch of different abilities and stuff.
Sounds sick.
It's
I like
a
the
lot
Norse
of fun.
world a lot.
But it's also got ranged weapons and stuff. You can switch on the fly.
Oh, cool.
All right. Let's go with. I'm gonna use my Mirror's Edge one, just because that game didn't sell very well.
Yeah.
Mirror's Edge, awesome. You should check out the new one if you have not played the old one, because I think it's a reboot and it's an open world. But anyway, it's a parkour game, first person. Story pretty weak, but the environment is beautiful. I love the minimalist world that they have. Everything's basically like white, black, and gray, and then they have color directing where you can go and what you can interact with. But yeah, it's a first-person parkour game where you can choose to beat the whole game without firing a gun, or you can take out some guards and steal their weapons and just murder people with the guns.
Which is way more fun to do.
It is way more fun, though it's not how the game was meant to be played.
Right.
But yeah, the new one seems like either a prequel or a relaunch. I think it's a relaunch, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that was a awesome game that just didn't sell very well, and I'm very surprised for getting a new one.
Yeah, I didn't actually play it till like 4 years after release or something.
Yeah, I got it. It's short. Like it's an easy quick playthrough if you use guns. If you don't use guns, it's a lot harder. What do you got, Tom?
More fun to watch that way, though.
What
do you have?
So a big one for me was Brink. This was a game that I was like so excited for on release. It came out, and I had a lot of fun playing it, but a lot of people had issues with this.
Do you know who made that game?
I don't know who made that game.
Okay.
So this game was like a parkour first-person shooter, and I had so much fun playing this. But people had problems with it. Like it sold all right, but people like stopped playing it real fast because like server issues.
Oh, it was an online game.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking of a different game then.
Yeah, and it was kind of buggy. And people didn't like the maps. For like a parkour fast-paced shooter game, the maps were gigantic, like Halo-sized maps. And it just didn't work out very well for this game. So,
are the servers still up? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I don't think they are, but they might be.
Is it multiplayer only?
I think so.
Well, that's
that'll kill it.
Don't go play that game.
I'm not positive. There's definitely a campaign, but it might be like a multiplayer campaign only. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of people didn't play the campaign, but I hardly remember the campaign at all. I just remember this game being so much fun, but it like I got on one week and there was just 400 people online. I was like, Jesus Christ.
What's another one for you, Colin?
Alpha Protocol. I think that game got passed by pretty quickly, but I had a lot of fun.
I don't know this game. What is
this?
It's
the espionage RPG. Where it was set up where you could play as one of the 3 JBs, as they called them, Jason Bourne, James Bond, or Jack Bauer.
Yeah.
So there was like
really?
that was that's what they compared it to.
Yeah.
'Cause there's like the gadget guy, then there's like the hand-to-hand combat guy, and then there's like the gun guy.
Yeah.
And you could do all the different styles. That game was a lot of fun,
It was really cool.
That's awesome.
and it was kind of short, but it was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
Sounds good.
I liked it. I've got it on PC. Not that you would know what that's like, but you know.
Yeah, I don't know what those do. My next one that I talk about a whole lot, but I'm going to do it again. Dark Cloud. This was a PS2 game. They re-released it on PS4, so it's easy to get right now with trophies and everything. It is a action RPG that a lot of people compare. I know what you're going to say, but a lot of people compare it to Kingdom Hearts, saying it's up there with Kingdom Hearts as one of the best action RPGs on the PlayStation 2. The game is it's a dungeon crawler. You go into the dungeon, you pick up these orbs that contain pieces of houses, and then you go to the next level when you clear it. It's also a resource management game because you have a water level, like a thirst level that drains slowly as you're in the dungeon. So you need to constantly keep your water up. You have different, like you can get poisoned or all these things, and you have to manage that. And you go through the dungeons, each floor, picking up these pieces of the houses, and then when you come out of the dungeon, it goes into a top-down, almost like SimCity city builder, and you put back together people's houses, and then you talk to them, and they give you rewards for rebuilding their house correctly.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, oh, there is a windmill by my house that I used to look at in the morning, and then you need to go into the dungeon and find the windmill and set that up. Or you can just ignore rebuilding the town completely and just do what you need to do.
Yeah.
But you get a bunch of rewards for doing it correctly. Very hard game, but very fun.
Didn't you get
PS2
stuck
game.
in that game?
Very much so.
All right.
Yeah, as a kid, I used a game show. I think there's 5 levels, and I got to the 5th one and couldn't do it because your weapons break, which is the most difficult part of the game. So you kind of got to get grind for money and buy all these things that repair your weapons.
Yeah.
But if you use your weapon too much, when it breaks, it's just gone. It's not like repairable.
It just shatters.
So you need to manage that and or shut the game off and restart it if you reload your save.
Yeah.
And don't save over. But anyway, really like Dark Cloud. And it had a really, really popular sequel that I'm still playing through, so I don't have too much of a say on it yet.
Oh, okay. Another underrated game for me is Anarchy Online.
You guys picked a lot of online games.
We did?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, whatever. So Anarchy Online is I think it came out in 2000. It's an MMO, and it's like a very futuristic MMO. I don't really remember the storyline. I just remember how sweet the gameplay was. It was very stand stillish, just use all your abilities and stuff. But it was such a cool world. You picked up these missions for different agencies, and all these agencies were kind of going against each other. So you got reputations with different agencies and stuff, and then it had these sweet not like any other futuristic game. Kind of vehicles and stuff like that, and weapons and armor. It was this weird Egyptian futuristic stuff going on, and it was a really cool game, really underrated.
Sounds cool
because it was super buggy on release. And they
so a lot of people skipped it or glossed over it, and then they patched it and fixed it.
It had terrible reviews, and they patched it a year later and made it free to play or something.
Yeah.
So kind of a bummer. I love that game.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah,
I'd play that.
And it's so much gameplay to it. Most MMOs, you get to level 50, and then you have all this random grindy stuff you can do. This had 300 levels in it, and they just kept patching in levels. So it was really cool. Just so much stuff you could do.
I'd play that.
It was fun.
We were talking about this earlier. I didn't realize this, but apparently the original Force Unleashed is not very highly rated.
That is very correct.
Which surprised me because I love that game.
It is a very fun game.
It's a lot of fun. It's just a blast to play.
Storyline was really cool too.
Yeah,
like a Star Wars game, really different.
I like the apprentice thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
The combat was really simple, but it's so much fun.
It was a lot of. It was satisfying. Yeah,
that's a good word for it. Yeah, there's a lot of really good Star Wars games actually. There's a lot of bad ones too, but there's a lot of very good.
There's a lot of Star Wars games.
Yeah, that's
there's just a lot of Star Wars.
Yeah,
games. Some of them are good, KOTOR, and some of them are not.
Masters of Terrascasi.
That's not a good one. Oh god.
A lot of the spaceship ones are pretty bad. They count out a million of the spaceship combat ones.
Well, I was talking about one of those at work the other day. It was an old PC one. It was X-Wing Alliance. They required a joystick to play.
Yeah.
I loved that.
That game was sweet. Yeah,
I used to love that game.
Yeah. Some of the worst ones were on the console. Like they had so many. Like they had one after episode 1 that came out.
Yeah, they had one after all
Jesus,
the episodes.
it was
That
bad.
Yeah,
pretty good.
they used to do that.
Yeah.
The top-down episode one.
Mhm.
Yeah, that game's not good.
It was not. No.
So it's one of the worst video games I've ever played.
I'm gonna talk about how many more do you have?
I could do one more. Then
How many more do you have?
I'm done.
Well, okay, so we'll just go back and then be done. I'm going to talk about Silent Hill Shattered Memories. This is a Silent Hill game that came out after kind of people turned their back on Silent Hill.
Yeah.
There was a couple bad ones. The Japanese Team Silent stopped making the games after basically 3.5 games.
Yeah.
Then Silent Hill 4 came out, which wasn't really a Silent Hill game. They just tacked the name onto it. Origins came out. People had mixed feelings about that because they tried to emulate the other games and it didn't work. Homecoming came out. That's a bad video game. But then Shattered Memories came out, and this is one of my favorite Silent Hill games. It is you have no weapons. You get no weapons throughout the whole game. It's all about running from the bad guys. They changed a lot of things up. It's a recreation of the first game's story.
Oh, that's cool.
But
which is an awesome story.
yeah, they changed it a lot to differentiate it. Like they made the horror aspect of it ice-based instead of fire-based, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
So you're in the streets, and instead of everything peeling away and it turning to like this, fiery hell, it's an ice. Everything ices over. And I always thought that was kind of neat and made sense for like why you can't open doors because they get frozen.
They're frozen. Yeah.
But yeah, it's running, no combat, and then it's all about being psychological. So after each chapter, you take a quiz, kind of like Until Dawn, and the characters' personalities and outfits and things that you see in the world change based on what you answered for your quizzes and different tests. And they do certain things that give it some replay value. Like you come to a split in a hallway and it's like you can go into the girls' bathroom or the boys' bathroom, or you can go into the science room or the art room. And if you go into one, the door locks, so you can't go to that other one. So I played the game probably 3 times.
Yeah.
And then I was playing, like I played it once, and then I played it with other people probably 3 times. And it wasn't until that 4th time where somebody actually went into like the science room, and I was like, I never even knew this room existed in this game. Cool. So
Never been there before.
yeah, it's a neat. It's on the Wii, and it actually works really well on the Wii. It's one of my favorite Wii games, and it's also on the PS2 and the PSP. But I've only played it on the Wii.
I didn't even know this game existed.
Most people don't. That's what I'm saying. Most people kind of gave up on Silent Hill and just don't talk about it.
The first 2 are like really sweet. So never really played any of the other ones.
I like the movie.
Yeah, the movie's based on the first one.
Yeah.
There's another one?
The other movie?
That's not.
That's based on the
probably
third
the
one.
best video game movie.
The first Silent Hill.
Yeah.
I probably agree. With that. Yeah.
Until Assassin's Creed comes out.
I hope it's good.
Until Warcraft comes out.
All right, Kellen, what's your final one?
Yikes. I don't remember much about this game. I just remember playing through it a bunch because it was a blast. The shooter Black. I don't remember a whole lot about the game. I just remember going through it a bunch of times. It was a lot of fun.
That's one that people like. Every X amount of people I talk to, just one person's like, "Hey, have you ever played Black?" I'm like, "Nope."
It was a lot of fun.
I know about it.
I didn't even know about this game.
I don't remember much about it. I remember being really hyped up at first, and then just like died within like a week. And I was still playing the game. Like, this game's still fun. I don't care. I think it had a destructible environment.
Oh, that's cool.
I think that was part of its like appeal, that you could just like shoot through the cover until it went away.
That's pretty neat.
But it was a lot of fun. I remember playing that game a lot.
So let's move on to our thumbnail topic, which is going to be some predictions for the PlayStation VR event on March 15th. What do we think we're going to see? What do we want to see? What do we think the price is going to be? Are we going to see new games? Things like that. So we'll just go around the table real quick for price. I've said it multiple times. I think it's going to be $500. Comes with a game. Comes with a controller of some sort. Comes with the camera. And then there's going to be a $400 SKU that's just the headset with maybe a game. And I know I've been chanting No Man's Sky
for years.
I kind of think it's going to be rigs now.
Yeah.
Because it's a first-party game.
Yeah.
And also, it's a game like Rocket League that is online only.
Yeah.
And it needs a community.
Yeah.
And I think if they packaged every single one with rigs, it would do better.
It's going to get played.
Because people are going to buy No Man's Sky anyway. So
I can think of at least one.
I don't see a game like No Man's Sky being packaged with this. And I agree with you on the price range, though.
You think it's going to be 400 and 500?
Maybe like 500 and 600, just because like
I don't think
PlayStation
it's
is
gonna be
known
that
for the
much.
outrageous release prices.
Really? Because all their prices have been cheaper than everybody else this whole generation.
Really?
This generation, yeah. Remember
Yeah.
the PS3?
And
PS3
they
was crazy.
so I'll
was
say some
ridiculous.
I'll say some rumors before. So rumors, Sony came out and said, I have no clue why Oculus is so expensive,
Yeah.
and that's 600.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a big tell that they're not going to be
Yeah,
that
yeah.
expensive. They also said that they're marketing towards everyday people. They are not marketing like the hardcore gamer.
They're not $800 HTC.
Yeah. So they seem like they're doing their same tactic that they did with the PS4. And the Amazon listing for the PlayStation VR changed from the placeholder December 31st, 2016, which is anytime during the year, to June 20th, 2015, which is the day before No Man's Sky. So just throwing out some rumors and speculation that came out. So how about your price?
I think what they're going to shoot for, I don't know if they'll be able to do it, is $300 for just the headset and then a $400 bundle.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get
I can see
games, you'll get the camera and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't have that stuff. So
That would be amazing.
Right.
that's what if it comes out at $400 and I get the camera and all the Move stuff, I'm going to buy one.
If it comes out that it's only going to cost $300 for that headset, I'm going to buy probably every launch game that they have because I'm fully expecting I'm fully expecting 500.
If it's over 300, I don't think it'll sell very well. Because I'm interested in it, but I'm not like a big PlayStation lover. But I would buy this if it was a reasonable price. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think they're going to get that market of people unless they make it like $400.
I think they have to. Yeah.
I mean, they definitely have the price advantage just because Oculus, you need a powerful PC and the $600 headset.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So let's talk about some games. We'll talk about released games and then what we want to release. So what launch games do you think we're going to see? They've announced lots and lots of games.
Of random stuff.
Small kind of tech demo games and things that seem like full games, such as Rez and the 100-foot robot golf.
1,000-foot robot.
And rigs. And so what do we think will be the actual launch games for this thing?
I'm not sure.
I think rigs 100%
I
is a
can see
launch
that.
game.
I could see that. I haven't like looked too much into this, so I'm not positive.
I know you're not giant into PlayStation, so I didn't fully expect.
Right, it's fine.
I'm glad we have you on the show today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Rigs is going to be a launch title. There's an Until Dawn shooter, like where you're in the minecart shooting at bad guys from Until Dawn, I guess I'll say. There's what else is there?
I can't think of the name of the series.
I think Rez is going to be a launch title. I think that'll be a big one.
Yeah.
And then maybe they'll just release a bunch of downloadable games. Like there's the
Is that EVE Online shooter coming to the PlayStation VR?
Valkyrie?
Yeah, EVE Valkyrie.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
That Drive Club is also going to be VR. There's a new Gran Turismo that's VR.
Have they set a date for the Ace Combat 7 VR stuff?
No, that would be like there's a lot of games
huge
announced.
If it released
Tekken 7 is
that
VR.
That would be a blast in VR.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah. Danganronpa 3.
That's the one I was trying to think. I couldn't think of the name Danganronpa for some reason.
Danganronpa 3 is a VR game. I don't think those are going to be launch games like the last four we named. But I think we're going to see Rez as a launch game. The 100-foot robot golf. I still think No Man's Sky is going to be VR.
I want to play 100-foot robot golf.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
it looks awesome.
It does. And then I think a bunch of the little tech demos, like The Kitchen, which was the horror game. There has to be a horror game.
Yeah.
I guess Until Dawn and Rigs. I think that's kind of what we're going to see. And then I think we're going to see a new game. I don't think it's going to be a lot. I think we're going to see a couple new games. I think we're going to see a new launch game.
A couple smaller new games.
New launch game would be sweet.
Yeah, I think they're going to reveal a launch game. So what Sony series do you think could be turned into a VR game?
Maybe this is where we'll get Crash Bandicoot.
No way. We are not getting a Crash. I think people would be mad at that. Honestly.
Oh yeah, it would be funny, but
it would be like the Conquer thing. They'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, it'd just be out of place.
Yeah,
it'd be funny though.
So there's some choices of like there could be an Uncharted one. I don't see what it would be. They could do an Infamous one.
Like a rail shooter.
I don't see what it could be. They could do a God of War. I don't see what it could be. Like that's my problem. I was trying to think of games that Sony created in at least recent years that could be a VR experience, and it's kind of difficult.
It is.
Yeah.
I think God of War would be sweet. Like having that kind of world in a VR would just be sweet.
Yeah, the problem with it is, I mean, I'm talking about like exclusive games. Though.
Right.
Do you think we're going to see any other exclusive games announced for PlayStation VR at this event that they're like, it's launching the same day?
Not launch games, no.
You don't think so?
I don't think
I think
so.
we're going to get one, but I don't know what it'll be.
They'll have one to pitch. I don't know what it'll be.
The easy answer is things like...
Knack.
I hope so. Things like Ace Combat. That's one that I completely forgot about.
Yeah. I'm kind of looking forward to that one.
And like the Gran Turismo games and stuff like that. I think we'll see more Gran Turismo for sure. But real excited for this event. Real excited for this price. I'm going to be sitting there with my computer up waiting for the pre-order screen to go live so I can grab one.
Yeah.
So just kind of a final question on the topic. How well do we think this is going to do in the mass market?
Depends on the price, I think. If it's cheap enough, I think it'll do really well.
I think it's going to do mediocre.
Yeah, it won't come out. It won't come out of the gates very well. But I think Christmas it'll kick in.
Yeah,
it's going to be on Twitch everywhere because Sony is going to send these to every big streamer.
Yes,
and they're all going to be playing games on this thing, and that's when it takes off.
You know, I don't know if it will show up on Twitch as much as you think it will, but if it does, I think it'll sell really well.
That'll help.
There's been so many games like recently that have just been doing very well because of Twitch, and Division's one of them. If you go on a Division stream, there's 35K people watching it. Like that's what got me into Division, was watching a Twitch stream, which is great.
There's some farming game that's been doing insane
I know what you're talking
Twitch
about, but I don't know.
on what as well, and I'm just like,
What?
I watched like 15 minutes
right
of it.
Yeah,
it looks like Animal Crossing.
So
I don't know, but there's
that's really random.
There's a lot
really
of people
weird
playing it.
Like this is like a big way that these big Twitch streamers get people on other games. These other games will endorse the Twitch streamer. And they'll be playing the game, and they'll like take a break, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, I'll play some of this game," and then people are like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah,
and then everyone will start playing that game.
See, I think
so
that
crazy.
They're going to send them to all the Twitch streamers, and they will play them.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I think it will. I think it's
idea.
going to be like a small scale Rocket League, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think that the problem that they're going to have, honestly, is I don't think they're going to make enough units. I think they're going to sell out of their first shipment, which is why I'm going to be waiting.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to be surprised that they sell out.
Yeah.
And it's going to be similar to the PlayStation camera at launch of the PS4,
where
you can't find one. Like, they're not going to be in stores because they're all going to sell out of the pre-orders.
Or it could just be like the PlayStation wand.
Oh, the Move? Well, this is basically the Move, too.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to work.
It'll be functional.
Yeah, I mean, no, the Move was functional. It just wasn't fun.
Yeah, it was
I never played one. So.
I played one.
Was it wonderful?
Once. Literally once. It was miserable.
Man, it's awful.
So we'll see. Next week's episode is going to be basically some news and then a recap of the PlayStation event, assuming it's long enough and there's enough things there to do that. So that's what I'm banking on.
It comes out and it's 30 seconds. Here's a date and a prize. Bye.
I mean, I would be happy with that, but it would suck for the show. We'd just be like, oh.
Yeah, that'd be miserable. I think they really need to market this well to do well.
I think they will.
Yeah.
Though it's hard to market. And like,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
They have that awkward thing where you have to play it to understand.
Mm-hmm.
You can't show a commercial of a guy with something on his face going, whoa, this is fun, and get it. But there's like sanitary issues with like booths where you just like walk into
Slapping
Best
your
Buy
head thing,
and you put that's
kind of weird.
Kind of gross. So I don't know exactly
how they're
how
easy item to market.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to make like specific ones for stores that have maybe put on sanitary things or like what they're going to do, because they have to have them in stores for people to play.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time,
you got to have a way to demo it.
That's real disgusting, and they're going to have people like handling this $400 device that could like drop it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hope they make these customizable in some way, because I want mine to look like a Daft Punk helmet.
That would be neat. Like, just you could
just
swap out
panels or something,
the faceplates and stuff on them.
I'd love that.
That'd be really cool.
I just want a Daft Punk helmet.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, so let's move on to the releases. Once again, Gareth typing up our write-ups for the releases.
I knew he'd come in handy one day.
One day and one day only. So what do we got this week?
March 14th, The Firefly Diary, anime-style puzzle platformer. Basically, you wake up underground in a deep sleep, and you gotta get out of there with some fireflies. Sounds kind of interesting.
Get out of there with some fireflies.
Sounds
Yeah, it
kinda
says use
miserable.
2 fireflies, try to escape. I guess it's like a puzzle based on what you can and can't see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know much about the game. Sounds interesting.
I'll never play it.
Yeah, I actually, now that you say that, I think I have seen that game, and I think it is. The screen's black, and you can only
Use
see
the
right
fireflies.
in front of you. Yeah.
That's what I think when I see that. But next on March 15th, we get EA Sports UFC 2 for the Xbone and PS4. Another UFC game.
Anybody care about the UFC games?
No, they've been marketing like crazy on the Xbox One.
They
though.
do well.
Every time I turn my Xbox on, that's the first thing I see.
I had one several years ago. It was a lot of fun, but
Yeah, they're fine. I would never pay $60 for one though.
no, because it was a real technical fighter. It's kind of hard to play, but
It is.
it was fun.
Yeah.
Next, we got Marvel Battlegrounds, Disney Infinity expansion, Captain America stuff.
Yeah, so that's coming up for Civil War. They do. So this is going back to the Marvel DC movie stuff real quick. Marvel loves sitting on their hill above DC, and just every time DC is climbing up that hill, they just like throw stuff at them and knock them down.
I mean, that's what I would do.
They were like, here's our date, and then they're like, Captain America's coming out the same day, and then Batman vs Superman's like, we're moving earlier,
We're
and then they're
gonna
like, Daredevil's coming out the week before, as well as a Marvel's. Like, they're just
More Disney.
yeah, they just try and
They know they have a lead and they're messing with it.
yeah, they really do. It reminds me a lot of what Nintendo did to Sony when they announced the Vita and they announced the price, which was a very shocking competitive price for the Vita.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo lowered the price of their system that month and put out like 2 Mario games that month and just
Yeah.
destroyed the
Oh
launch.
yeah, we're just gonna shit all over
so
you.
it reminds me of that. But what else we got?
Need for Speed PC, just the PC release of most recent Need for Speed.
Yeah, that game wasn't very good. I think that was the one that was based off the movie that wasn't very good
Yeah.
either.
I think
What
so.
a terrible movie. Oh my god.
I never saw it, which is saying something. I used to really like Need for Speed.
I love Need for Speed. I saw it for free, so only
Oh,
reason
that's
I saw
fair.
it.
Next we got Salt and Sanctuary, PS4, Vita, PC, 2D action RPG. You're a sailor looking for a shipwreck. Or no, yeah, you're shipwrecked on a strange island in the middle of an old war. So it's a real game. It's a Vita game.
Yeah. Interesting.
Sounds
Not too much to say about it.
yeah, that's kind of weird.
Samurai Warriors 4 Empires, PS4, PS3, Vita. Samurai Warriors franchise. I never played one. Don't
Yeah.
know much
They're
about
fine.
them.
I don't care about samurais at all. Is that like Dynasty Warriors with
I don't know.
samurais?
It says it's based on basically you're trying to start up an empire, recruit people, and not really story driven. You're like building an empire.
Yeah. It's not so much an RTS, but it's like kind of this campaign kind of game. So you're just trying to build up an empire of samurai.
Just a bunch of samurai.
Yeah. Have you ever
cutting
played like a
stuff.
Total War game?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind.
So I guess it's like a Total War game. Sinran Kagura Estival Versus, PS4 Vita game.
Sounds good.
Anime
listening.
action game based on a group of female ninjas.
Ooh.
So it came out in Japan a year ago. It's finally coming over here.
I don't like the ninjas.
Female ninjas.
Or you don't like
sounds
ninjas
sweet.
or samurai. So you're just
No.
You just don't like cool things?
you don't like fun.
You like
See, the
capes?
pirate game interests me. The ninja game I don't care about.
Who doesn't like ninjas and samurais?
People that like
What
pirates
if they're
That guy?
teenagers and they're
turn into turtles.
Anyways, Turtrobot and Company, Xbone, PS4, a little indie robot puzzle game. Came out on PC in 2013, finally coming to consoles.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's so many games like that that are just, it's so much easier to port to the newer consoles that they're
Yeah.
just, it's worth it to do.
Yeah.
And make
might
a
as
quick
well.
buck. Yeah.
World's Fastest Pizza, PC game.
Yeah.
Game of the year.
High speed pizza delivery game. Superpowers.
Destroying my life, guys.
Never mind.
Interesting.
March 16th. Dungeon of the Endless, Xbox One. Dungeon crawl tower defense kind of setup game. It was a PC game, came out in 2014, finally coming
Yeah,
to Xbox.
The theme continues.
Yeah.
March 18th.
This is where the good games comes out.
Pokken Tournament. Anybody know what that is? Anybody?
Yeah, I played it the other day. Didn't have much fun with it.
Well, you didn't know what you were doing.
Didn't have much fun with it.
This game looks sweet.
We will next week.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm scared because I feel like half of the party is going to have the game and be playing the game and then come over and completely murder me at the game.
That's the plan.
And then I won't have any fun. But no, I'm totally fine with trying it out again. I played it. It felt kind of like Smash Brothers to me.
I'm retired from that, but I'm fine with it.
Yeah, like control wise, it felt like Smash Brothers to me. Though there's a couple dual button attacks, and you can like charge your attacks and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I mega transformed a Gengar. I don't know what was going on.
Gengar.
Nice.
There's a chandelier.
No. I mean, there is, but no.
Yeah, so I don't know why they put that in the game.
That's who I'm
I
playing as.
Because it's funny.
Out of the 800 Pokemon, they put the chandelier in the fighting game.
What do you got against Chandelure?
It's just, it might be one of the dumbest Pokemon. I think there's like a cupcake too, and they're tied for the worst.
There's a snow cone.
Yeah, Jesus.
Last one we got for the 18th. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse for X-Bone.
It's a good game.
Yeah, it's coming to X-Bone finally.
Yeah, it's been out on PlayStation for a while. I think they remade the original game.
Is that the
it.
puzzle game?
No,
Like
no, it's a
you clicking stuff.
no, it's a side scroll. It's a 2D side scroller with a genie chick as the main character, and she
Her
uses
name's Genie Chick.
and she uses her hair and stuff to attack. It's really cool. They're really
Sounds
expensive games to get the original ones.
So it's Bayonetta?
No, it's not that violent. It's cartoony.
That sounds sweet.
Yeah,
I love pirates. So.
it's a big. Now you like
Not as much as
So you
Ninjas and
like
Samurais,
all of 'em.
But, yeah, why not?
but yeah, that's a good game. So,
That's the last one.
all right, let's move on to what we're currently playing. So, Kellen, what have you been playing this week?
More Fire Emblem, as usual.
Yeah,
Almost done with the first one. I lied when I said I was going to be done with it last week.
our answers are just the same every week.
Because I had more. No, it's different this week. We've already talked about it. Division.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That
Yeah.
game's real fun.
Mhm.
That game's a lot of fun. That's the only 2 games I've touched this week.
How about you, Todd? Besides the division,
Besides the division,
if anything.
There is anything? More Smite.
Yeah, more Smite. I've been trying to get into the Smite grind a little bit more. I just finished my 3v3 like qualifiers the other day. Ended up in gold, so.
I don't know what that means, but
Yeah,
okay.
I did all right.
I'm proud of you.
I
Is
did
it
all
like
right.
gold on League where you're like in the middle? Kind of.
Kind of in the middle. And then yesterday picked up Division. Been playing it nonstop. So really impressed with that game.
Everybody likes
Definitely recommend
It's
it.
a quick version of the segment. I've only played Final Fantasy 13-2 this week. Put a whole bunch of hours into it. I'm at the very end, the final boss fight. What do you got?
Oh, I completely forgot about this. I started replaying Kingdom Hearts 2 the other day.
Oh, let's talk about it. How do you
I'm
feel
sorry.
about the 3-hour miserable opening?
I thought that was the first one.
It was
It's
better.
both of them.
Yeah, it was better going into it this time than other
It
days,
is
but
better.
I'll
yeah.
tell you what's not fun
Okay.
is when you're going. I think it's to the underworld and you have to do like that tournament thing.
Oh, you're decently far. Okay.
Yeah, so the grind to get to that is miserable because like
You mean when you're running up the like?
no, like when you go down there, like the first time you do, you just get destroyed, and I forgot about that. Like you have to get like
I sure didn't.
oh wow, I've just been on like a grind.
Did
Only
you?
you.
Did you? I'm trying to gauge where you are. It's not really a spoiler.
Yeah.
Did you get to Hades?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you run back and it like sections you off. Is
Yeah,
that where you
yeah,
are?
That's where I am right now.
Yeah. Our friend was at that part and gave up, and I had to come over and beat it for him.
Yeah, it's not easy.
No, it's not.
I've had to get to a higher level. To
Yeah, and then you go back
so that's
to
where
it.
I am
Or
right now.
what are
And
you
I'm playing
pl-
with a friend?
What are you playing on?
The
Are you playing the PS2 version or the PS3 version?
PS3.
Okay, good. That's a much better version
Yeah.
to play.
So she's actually playing it, and I've just been helping her play it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that game.
Oh, it's sweet.
It's like my
I haven't
second
played it since
favorite
release,
game
so
ever.
I
Yeah, I played through it
played the
recently.
first one a bunch, and I haven't played this one since release.
I'm still on Birth by Sleep. I'm trying to play them all
Yeah.
until when the next one comes
I haven't
out.
even played that game.
I'm
Me either.
through 6
Do you
of
like
them.
Kingdom Hearts, Colin?
I've never played one, and I never will.
He's going to one
So
day.
I don't.
Can't make me.
Yeah, I actually was like really skeptical on these games. I played the first one right before the second one came out. I just like didn't like the main character. I didn't like that you were like a kid and stuff like that. I thought it was kind
You want to be an adult with all the Disney characters?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, who doesn't?
But I like the way like I thought it was gonna be like this really like happy kind of like Disney game.
Oh no, it's dark.
Yeah, it is very dark, which was cool. So when I played it, the story was really cool.
You know me. There's no fun in the game.
There's no fun allowed.
Yeah.
No.
Literally no fun.
The first one's a little more fun than the second one. The second one's like pretty dark.
The first one's a very basic story. It's kind of the Save the Princess story. And then the second one, they were like just whatever they wanted.
It's
yeah.
nuts.
Whatever goes.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Anyway, back to my game. Now, I've been playing Final Fantasy 13 too. That's the only thing I really played this week. I put probably double the time I put into it that I had into it before.
That's crazy.
I'm at the final boss. All I have to do is walk in and fight him, and I beat the game. But I went back. There's a casino in the game.
Oh.
I spent like 6 hours in there.
Oh.
You can do chocobo races and like bet on the chocobos.
That sounds awesome.
You can do slot machines. They have poker. So I've just been messing around in there.
Can you play poker with chocobos?
Sure.
All right.
And then I went to there's a hub world kind of in the game, like a menu, and you pick which area you want to go to, and it teleports you there, and it puts you, if you leave, whenever you come back, you'll be at the part that you left. So it doesn't restart you at the beginning area of it.
That's very neat.
So it's basically got a whole bunch of different saves going on.
That's cool.
To every place you've ever been. So I went to the first couple and like kind of 100% of them.
Nice.
And then I realized it was going to take me forever to do all of them.
Yeah.
So I decided just to listen to a podcast and grind. And now I feel at a confident level where I can go fight the boss. So
awesome.
I'm probably going to do that tomorrow. And then
Good luck.
I'll let it sit. Really like it so far. Like it more than 13. But I'm going to let it sit, and then I'll play 13.3. Probably be real disappointed from what I've heard about that game.
That's what I've heard.
And then I'm going to do not a review, but eventually I'll do an unpopular opinion about my order of it because it's already unpopular.
Yeah,
So-
it is.
Speaking of casinos and gambling, I will not be here next week.
For the poking?
I am going to Vegas.
About
Excited
time.
about it, guys.
Can I come?
We've already been.
Okay. Doesn't mean
Let's go
don't
again.
want to go back.
Might not come back.
So I had the perfect segue, and Todd totally derailed it. I was gonna say, speaking of unpopular opinions,
what Todd does.
let's move on to that. But Todd just derailed my segue.
That's what Todd does.
So this is just gonna be real quick unpopular opinion. You guys can. I have no clue how to defend this because it's 100% just a personal thing.
Right.
But my unpopular opinion is, I don't like the 360 controller at all. I think the PS3 controller is better. I think the PS4 controller is better, and I think the Xbox One controller is better. Really not too much of a way to. It's just a personal thing.
Just a preference, yeah.
I use the 360 controller for multiple hours, and it strains my hand.
Yeah.
That's literally.
I was gonna say that. So
my
I
problem
love
with it.
using the controller. I used to use it for even like PC games.
Yeah, I still use my 360 controller for PC games sometimes.
But it does make my hands cramp up if I use it for like over 2 hours.
I never had that problem.
Really, you probably have giant hands. I got little baby.
Yeah,
hands.
I've never liked the offset analog sticks, and I've never understood it.
I do.
Like, my hands are symmetrical.
Yeah.
Why would I ever want the thing I'm holding to not be symmetrical? I've never gotten that
It's more
argument.
comfortable.
It is
Not more comfortable.
It's just
I like
it's
them.
just a preference.
I know. I don't understand how they came to that conclusion though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get how you can look at your hands and be like, "What if we made them like this?" I just don't get it.
I don't know.
And the Xbox One controller, which a lot of people had problems with at launch, now it seems like people are coming back on that. I held the Xbox One controller and went, I really like this. I think I like it more than the PS4 and the PS3 controller. They shrunk the controller down. They brought the analog sticks closer together so it doesn't feel offset. And then just the form factor is great. And obviously their triggers are way better than the PlayStation triggers. And their analog sticks are better than the PlayStation analog sticks as well.
Man, do I hate the PlayStation controller. Everyone they've ever made, I've just hated.
See, my thing is another reason for the Xbox controller that I don't like. My number one game series franchises are side scrollers, which are way harder to play on a 360 controller because of the D-pad. On the 360 one, it's awful. On the Xbox One,
the D-pad's terrible.
it's okay.
The D-pads are weird. So the big thing about the any Xbox controller is they're made for like shooter games. Like
That's
setups.
true, which is
Which
probably
is what I
my
used to play a lot.
least favorite. Least favorite.
And that's what like Xbox
franchise
is
I play.
for. You know, if you want to play like shooter games, you're gonna get an Xbox.
I know they did the offset analog sticks for shooters. I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand how that helps shooters. I don't know if it has to do with your timing of moving your fingers to the face
I
buttons.
mean, you know how I play shooters, don't you? With a mouse and keyboard.
So something that I do that's real weird, I notice I do when I play some games is I'll hold the controller in one hand and I'll move the analog stick with my left hand and then hit the buttons with the right just real quick to readjust my hands. Does anybody else do that?
Never done that.
No, I've
Okay.
never even
I do
seen
that all
anyone
the
do
time. If you watch me play, I'll do that whenever my hands get out of sync, like where I want them,
How
and
do
I'll
your
go like
hands
that. And
Get that far off.
I mean, it's not very far. It's just a teeny bit, but it bothers me.
All right.
Let me know if you do that, because I notice that I do it and I feel real weird. And I'm like, nobody,
should.
I don't think anybody else does this. I only do it on platformers though, and some fighting games. Fighting games, that's another thing. I play a lot of fighting games. That's probably my second most played thing.
Yeah.
And I only use the D-pad in fighting games. Once again, another reason that the Xbox controller,
Yeah.
not for me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I used to play a lot of shooters, so I loved it.
yeah, impossible to defend, but
Yeah.
that was my unpopular opinion. I just wanted to do a quick one. I think we brought it up on camera. I'm not sure last week, but we're going to do an unpopular opinion where you're going to defend Sonic against Mario.
Did we mention that? Oh, I can do that.
And
That'll be easy.
You might miss that one, unfortunately.
It's fine. I'll watch it. Don't worry.
Okay.
That'll be easy to defend. It's not even hard.
So thank you so much for watching this episode of the Press X podcast, and thank you for being here, Kellen
Yeah, yeah.
and Todd,
Anytime.
and we'll speak with you next week.
Anytime but on time.
So you might want to look at that. I wasn't even thinking about it. Just adjusted my nut through my shorts. You might get a shot at my nut.
Leaving that in. 100%.
I'm very interested in I think